Well, the old saying, when it rains, it pours, I guess applies here. This is also going on at the same time all this other stuff is. I clicked on this box here and it pulls up the 5 day risk of high probability of something forming right here. Now, this is, or like, where's this? Well, we're near Texas or just down here off the coast of Mexico. I've been to Cozumel a few times, so I'm familiar with that place. But yeah, down, so, people going around Mexico and stuff, got to be careful of this. And it's, we'll see where what happens here. This thing develops and goes somewhere. A lot of storms form down here a lot longer. The September is where they get those hurricanes out, in the Atlantic Ocean and stuff that roll in through here. And this is where the Sally originated. It started down here off the coast of Florida. So that was where they first started tracking that. Now, I show this because I've always heard it said there's some poor schmuck that's always got it worse. Well, over here and right off the coast of Vietnam, they're about to have one make a landfall right now too, Knoll. But the wind speeds of this one's 52, 60. Oh, that's nothing. But look how big this wind field is. This is really making a lot of area have a lot of wind. So it may not be a max wind thing like Teddy was showing, but this impacts a lot more. There's a whole lot of people up there in China. We know about China nowadays, but Vietnam was where the popular spot and they talk about on the news in the 60s and 70s and stuff. And looks like they're going to catch the brunt of this rain. There's a really fierce amount of rain in this area. That's a lot of heavy rain. It'll last a long time. They're going to get some serious flooding in this area. It's just it's just a tropical storm, but that's a serious rainstorm there. If you zoom out on the radar, you don't see lots of rain everywhere like this. Usually, it is a very warm part of the ocean, but so this one's kind of been tottering along for a while. I've been keeping an eye on that, so that's pretty interesting to note. And one last thing before I leave here, this is really curious to me. Here we have Greece and Italy, and so a lot of people have been over to these places, and we learn about it in the history books. And we've got a massive storm seems to be right here in the middle of all this, and they don't even have a hurricane tracking thing on this, but it looks like a tropical system to me. It's because in the Mediterranean, it's not well known to have tropical storms, and so the Atlantic and the Pacific are getting those most of the time. But I guess this water got so warm down here in the Mediterranean that we had a nice little storm cook up down there, and they probably just don't have all this hurricane tracking stuff set up for this area. But this sure looks like a pretty mean set of winds here. This we keep an eye on where this thing. Everybody loves to learn about Greece and Italy and stuff in the history books, but we just totally forget about them in weather. But actually, they look like they get some pretty interesting stuff going on right now. Let's zoom in here on this. Let the wind fields catch up. So it's raining over. Maybe pound over in Athens pretty good, and some of these places, some of the Syracuse and some of these places you hear about, and yeah. So there's a lot of rain coming around, and that where that wind field goes, it may blast Greece pretty good. So that'd be interesting to keep an eye on too.